Well, welcome everyone. This is the VO Dojo's 21 Questions. I'm Tish Hicks, the Master Sensei of the VO Dojo, and we are so excited to have the one, the only, Mike Brang here to answer our 21 questions and um, join us next time for our Ask the Sensei. So, Mike, thank you so much for being here.
For having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, you ready to jump in?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, what's your one word check-in for today? If you had to distill the essence of your being right now in one word, what would that be?
Uh, Only because I haven't had any lately. Energy. Um,
Energy.
yeah, I think with the holidays, with kind of catching a little bug, um, it's been on the downswing. But thinking positively, I think really helps to kind of keep your mind in check and kind of help me get through the day. So energy, yeah, that's a good word.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah,
Where are you from?
Los Angeles area-ish. I grew up in Southern California, like I guess Beachville Park back there,
Uh-huh.
West Hills. So born out there, raised in LA. Yeah.
Excellent. And where do you live now?
Now in Simi Valley, so Ventura County area, just like the neighboring city from where I
Uh-huh.
grew up. Yeah.
Excellent. So near the LA and
hmm
also near the wide openness.
hmm
What would we know your voice from?
Well, promos, commercials. So yeah, like a lot of stuff for CBS, a lot of stuff for TBS, NBC. I've done stuff for I don't know. Let's see. CBS would be Mom, Young Sheldon, um, Man with a Plan, Carol Second Act when it was on air, and stuff for ABC, for Grand Hotel when it was on. Um, TBS, I just did all their holiday stuff just this past few weeks, all of their holiday promo campaigns. Commercials would be Red Bull, McDonald's, Chase, United Mileage Plus Explorer Card, um, a bunch of stuff that I can't really think of right now.
You know.
Yeah. It's been fun. Yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely know your voice. Yeah. Who's your current team? Who's your representation? How do you, or I guess however you interpret that. Representation is one part of our team, but
hmm
it's always interested to hear how successful VO people don't just do it alone. So,
Yeah, I lean a lot on my agents. In the very beginning, when I was first starting out, I didn't have a very big team around me. I was kind of dependent on myself. But as I've kind of grown and come up, I've had a really great team of people that I've been fortunate to work with. With DPN right now, DPN talent, I rely heavily on my commercial agents like Tish, David, um, Vince, and then I work a lot with the promo department, Kama, Mike. Um, so I lean on them a lot. I also am managed by Jason Marks and the team over
mhm.
there with Jason and Chase and you know David. The whole team over there are fantastic. And then I have representation with CESD in affiliate promo department specifically because I can't you know cross over into the commercial land with them or promo land with them. That's Nate Zeitz over at CESD, and then I have a my entertainment attorney that manages all my contracts and stuff. So,
Yeah.
and then my best buddy Bo, he's like a really strong part of my team. We lean on each other a lot and help each other through a lot of stuff. So he's like my rock, and when I need stuff to
Yeah.
kind of talk through and work through, he and I are on the same team. Like he's all represented by the same people that I am, like everybody across the board, including my attorney. So we help each other out through a lot of stuff. So I consider him part of my team, just like I'm a part of his.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Well, it does take a village, doesn't it?
Yeah,
We say at the dojo, it's always just you and you never do it alone.
yeah, true.
Yeah. What's your setup? What's your gearhead check-in?
I've got I've had the same stuff for a long time, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. At the beginning, I bought everything under the sun because I was trying to just get the best sound that I could, and it only took a couple of pieces of equipment to get really pristine, air-ready sound. For me, it was the interface is my UA Twin, the
Mhm.
Apollo Twin. I use an Avalon 737 as my preamp. and then my actual like booth is built into the house, so it's like it's triple walled and you know sound treated, and had company come out and build everything out. So that's the biggest thing. And then my microphone, I just use the Sennheiser 416.
Mm-hmm.
I record on Pro Tools, and that's about it. You don't need a whole heck of a lot.
No, and it sounds like your approach was to build it and then you built it and then it came.
Yeah, I in the beginning I didn't have a big setup. I didn't have a lot of money, and so I had to kind of like I think I did what all of us kind of do. We start out maybe in the closet, or if
Mhm.
we have the blessings of some money, we buy like a little vocal booth or something. I started out in the closet, came out from the closet, bought a vocal booth, worked in that for years, and then when things started picking up and doing well for me, I was able to invest in an actual like home
Yeah,
studio.
yeah, that's the evolution we talk about at the dojo a lot. Just let it evolve, let it evolve. Yeah. What's your VO origin story? How did you begin?
I was working for a lot of years in the medical space. I was doing CAT scans, MRIs, interventional radiography. I did a lot of that stuff. And the company that I worked with was bought out by a larger company. And the larger company decided that me and a few other people kind of made what they considered to be the ceiling of our um, of our compensation. With hey, we're not going to make any more money. So I was looking to do, at that age, I was like, I'm supposed to be doing this with money. I'm not supposed to be leveling out. So I was looking for something that I could kind of call my own. And I always had a passion for voiceover. I just didn't know beyond animation what there was. And my boss at the time, she's amazing. She still works there. She uh, let me go out and kind of pursue this, and she would work my schedule around things that I was trying to do. And voices.com had just came onto the scene. Voice 123 had just came onto the scene, and they were kind of gaining some traction. And I thought, well, why don't I try this out? I've always wanted to do it. I'll take some classes. I put in the work and the effort and started taking classes in LA. I jumped on the voices.com and voice 123, and took a loan out to buy some stuff so I could record properly, and
Mhm.
started making my way through it. And I think I picked a really good time, because at the time, you probably remember this, when SAG and AFTRA were separate. Um, and if you were in AFTRA, you could. I knew SAG was going to be merging soon with AFTRA, and I knew that if you were in AFTRA, which was an open union at the time, if you were in there, then you would just get grandfathered in, and you wouldn't have to like work your way into SAG. So I did that. Even though I wasn't working in the union, I bought into AFTRA, became an AFTRA member, and then sure enough, the merger happened within a few months, and I got picked up like I was merged in with them. And so I was able to do union work, and then I picked up a couple of union jobs, believe it or not, online, and kind of just kept building from there, and
Mhm.
kind of snowballed into something bigger. And then I caught the attention of some agencies, and when I did the interview with Chuck and Stacy on Audiobook Weekly, and things kind of took off from there.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's that's fantastic. Um, yeah, and um, a testament that it happens over many nights, not one night.
it's a grind for sure. Yeah, it's a
Right.
numbers game. It's a grind, but if you put in the work, and I it can happen. It will happen. I mean, I don't consider myself to be any special on the voice front. There's a lot of people out there that are way more talented than I am, but one thing I know I do have going for me is my work ethic, and
Mhm.
I really put in the time to make sure that I get the most out of it.
Yeah, the other thing you just said that really struck me too is that you approached it like a business. You took out a business loan to set up to get your setup, which is a way to do it, right? You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
you
You know,
can
the
work
guy
to Mhm.
I work so much with Chuck Duran, with making my demos, and he doesn't just do demo work. He helped me a lot when I was first coming up, and I was transitioning from um, kind of making this, I guess, a hobby. He always told me hobbies cost money, businesses make money. You need to put in the time and the money to build a business. I don't know any business that got to be successful that didn't take out a loan and put in the time and the money and the effort to get to where they are now. And
Mhm.
so he really helped me focus on that. And you know, it's his words kind of guided me from the beginning, and I've lived by that ever since. And so far, knock on wood, I've been
Right.
doing well.
Exactly, exactly. What would you say the top three ingredients in your success? What would you say the top three ingredients? You've mentioned a bunch of things already, but what would
Yeah,
you say the top three?
um, dedication is huge. I know a lot of us get discouraged when we don't see the fruits of our labor right away. um, treating um, Treating the audition as a job, treating a connection that you make with someone is part of the job. It's not just the job, when you book something. All the effort that you're putting um, to getting the job is just as much part of the job as the actual job. So
Hmm.
dedication is huge for me. Um, and then, connections, like I think having the right team of people around you is huge. I spent a lot of money and a lot of time in the very beginning kind of involving myself with people um, that I'm not trying to be discouraging by any means, but they just weren't the right fit for me. And I spent a lot of money and time on stuff that wasn't really helping me.
Mm.
Once I found the pool of people that I just gelled really well with, and my money was better spent there. Um, the money that I spent was able to like grow because of the connections that I made with them and the friendships that I forged.
Hmm.
And then, I mean, support is kind of a huge thing too. Like we do sit in the booth by ourselves all day and talk to ourselves, and so it can get a little lonely. And so, just stepping out and working with like-minded individuals and kind of bouncing ideas off of each other, it's pretty helpful. I get stuck in a one way of reading sometimes, and if I can share something with a good friend of mine, like Bo, for example, and bounce things off of him that maybe I'm not thinking of. He can give me insight that
Hmm.
I didn't have, and vice versa. So those have
Yeah,
been helpful for me.
yeah, those are fantastic. So dedication, support was a third,
Mhm.
and
And we talked about dedication.
like the right people is what you said to connection, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to think of what why I'm buying now. Dedication, connection. What was the middle one?
You said well, you said support, which but there's you said you were working with the right people who were able to
Yes,
help you do the right do to what I heard was you were working with the right people that resonated with you, that allowed you to know yourself and your own work, and then opened opportunities
correct.
from the connection with the people who allowed you to see yourself, and then open those doors in that relationship. I mean, maybe even it's a relationship, huh?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Everything you do is a relationship.
relationship.
It
Yeah, yeah. That's
relationship
powerful.
business. It's huge.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of puts so much focus on the voice. I put a lot of focus on the person.
Mm,
I've been really fortunate to work with a lot of big companies that have used me for years, which is getting to be a thing that we see less and less, where you have a similar voice on a campaign for a really long time. But
mhm.
I think it's just because of the relationships that I've built, and
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Um, you mentioned that being interviewed on VO Buzz was a part of things that opened door. But what would you consider your big break, or if there is such a thing?
yeah, at the time, everything was kind of like a perfect storm for me. I had just worked with Chuck and gotten some great feedback from a lot of different producers that I was trying to pitch myself to after working with him with the demo. Then I got on VO Buzz. Then I caught the attention of some larger agencies. I was with an agency at the time that I really wasn't doing much with. And I was with them just to kind of say that I was with an LA based agency, but it wasn't doing much for me. And so I realized that I needed to transition out of that. And I worked at the time, I worked with Atlas Talent. And for me, that was, at the time, it was a great agency for me to work with. And working with them, along with everything that had just happened, they opened some doors for me, and I was able to get in front of some people that I probably wouldn't have otherwise been able to get in front of on my own. And
Mhm.
um, yeah, that first year especially was critical to me forming relationships with people, and I've been able to carry those relationships on down the road. So
Yeah.
been a lot of years now. That was a while
Yeah,
ago.
I was just gonna segue, like how long from starting voiceover, from saying I'm gonna be doing this while the medical to complement and supplement my medical career,
Yeah,
and to doing full time. And
yeah,
I think there's like full time living, and then there's also a level of success that you've reached too, which is you're living and very much thriving too, right?
yeah. It's really fortunate. And I'm not bashful about talking about where I'm at. I When I started, I was doing like voices.com, trying to knock out whatever I could. I was That was in 2011, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just trying to kind of get get my feet wet and get my bearings and learn where I belonged in this. And I'm a big believer that the industry will tell you where you belong. I was trying to force my way into different avenues that I just wasn't really doing well in. And then what I found was I was booking more in other areas that I wasn't even considering at the time. And it kind of told me where I belonged at that moment anyway. And
Mm-hmm.
so I went from making, I don't know, a couple $100 a month, just kind of like, I'd book a couple things here and there. And then as I bought equipment, invested in myself, worked with people like, like the coaches like yourself, or, demo producers like Chuck, I was finding that my income um, was starting to pick up and up and up. I was making anywhere from 3 to 5K a month. And then it turned into like $10,000 to $15,000 a month. And this is all on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that the income at VO was starting to surpass the income that I was making in radiology. And I just finally had a heart to heart with my boss and just said, hey, I think I need to kind of part ways. I need to, if I can devote more time to voiceover, imagine what I can accomplish. I'm already accomplishing this at the
Mm-hmm.
just at a part-time basis. And
Yeah.
so it kind of took off from there, and I was doing about 15 to 20,000 a month on average, on my own. And then after the agencies kind of came into the picture, I was able to, with that income I was working on my own plus the agency income, I mean, it was, mid six figures within the first year. So,
Wow. So
yeah.
from the first year of once you said this is what I'm focusing on.
Yeah, so that would have been, so I took it really seriously probably by 2013. Like mid to
Mm-hmm.
late 2011, I started, I think it was, and in 2013, I drafted my LLC, got my LLC going, and
Mm-hmm.
I got a small loan to pay for equipment that I thought I needed, bought demos, paid for time with coaches, and just really invested in me. And yeah, within a year, I was able to pay back the loan, um, and yeah, and then just be profitable from there.
Yeah, I love it. It really does seem like the you established your voiceover business.
Yeah,
Mm.
that was, yeah, it's
Yeah,
critical. Yeah,
yeah. That's amazing. Um, and you talked about what you did while doing there. You had your radiology career.
yeah, I did.
That was the thing. What are you proudest of in your voiceover career?
Um, I don't. I'm just proud to work.
Mhm.
I don't think any one thing over the other has any more merit than anything else. I mean, whether I voice something for a one-off spot for a few $100s, or I've been on Toyota and this United campaign for years. Like those are by far the most lucrative.
Mhm.
Promos. I mean, for me, I set a personal goal for myself. When I transitioned over to VPN, it was really big for me to want to get into network promo. I had done a lot of affiliate promo, and I wanted to touch onto some trailer as well. And I got to do that like within, this is kind of cool. I just remembered as we're talking about it. Within the first, I just signed with VPN, and I told them what I wanted to do, and they said we're going to help you in every way that we can. And I told them like one of my main goals was getting into network promo, and Promax was that year in LA, and uh, within 2 weeks, I had two auditions, one for CBS, one for ABC, two different networks, two different reads. One was drama, one was comedy. I did the auditions, and I booked both parts, so I got to pick up CBS promo and ABC promo concurrently for the same season, two different networks, two different genres, and that was really cool. And then
That's
kind of been doing promo ever since. So it's been a lot of that was really neat. I thought that was kind of cool from not having only doing affiliate promo before that to doing picking up within the first couple of weeks with a brand new
yeah.
agency was kind of cool. And it was
You're a powerful, it sounds like you're a powerful manifester. When you set your intention, things align pretty powerfully.
yeah,
That's
it was something that I really wanted
great.
to work toward. Yeah,
Yeah. And then what I also hear is like, ah, in 2 weeks, you built relationships with two major networks that have a lot. You know, it's one thing if you were just with one, then you'd have those relationships, but you at the same time built relationships that keep on
yeah,
going.
it's great
That's-
too. Like CBS, they also own Paramount, and Paramount owns them.
mhm.
So I've worked with Paramount, then NBC, Peacock. I picked up stuff with them, TBS. It's been great. Been
Yeah, everybody knows everyone, and when you're known as the person who can deliver and do all the jobs well too, that's also a testament to you. 'Cause, yeah,
thanks. Yeah,
that's really. And then my experience of knowing you, you are also very generous about paying things forward and supporting people, and that's really, I think, when I think of you, that's what I think of, like
great. Yeah, I've helped a
that.
few people. One comes to mind, my buddy Gabe Kunda. He's probably the most, the sweetest, most just talented person. And I remember seeing him online and just trying to do funny voices and do character voices online. And we linked up, and the guy's making, he's breaking down every barrier out there. He's just destroying, he's killing it. And so
That's
he does that too. I remember helping him in the very beginning, and then now he's doing the same thing. He helps people all over the place, and he's just a blessing to everybody.
yeah, that's fantastic. I think that's really the heartbeat of this business. And when
Yeah,
you
we
tune
succeed
into
by
that,
standing on each other's shoulders. Like
yeah,
I know, like in acting, it's kind of cutthroat, but in voiceover, for some reason, on this side of the acting world, it's very supportive.
yeah, yeah. Well, on the other side of that, what's your biggest fear or challenge in your voiceover career?
Getting sick, like I am right
Ah, like you are right now. Yes, it's terrifying, isn't it?
now.
Yeah.
I've actually had bad bouts of laryngitis, and it's actually cost me some stuff before. Not that we couldn't do stuff later, but they're on a time crunch. Producers can't wait; they got to get stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would hate
Yeah.
for something to tear that up. I'm just getting over the flu now, and when I get sick for a while. So
Yeah, yeah. That's why when in the You Should Do Voiceover Intensive, we talk about external equipment because everyone's like, oh, microphones. I'm like, who cares? And then your internal equipment.
yeah,
How do you take care of this? Because if this isn't working, you're not working. So,
taking care of
yeah.
yourself is huge. Diet, sleep, staying away from certain things that can affect your voice, caffeine, if you're a
Mhm.
smoker. Yeah, I
Yeah,
try to be as healthy as I can.
yeah. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
A little bit of both. I think in the beginning I'm a little shy, but once I get to know somebody, I'm pretty energetic and outgoing,
Mhm,
and I don't have a hard time with talking to people from the jump. I'm probably not as open, as maybe
mhm.
later. So I lean more extrovert, you know, than
Interesting.
introvert, but I'm a little shy in the beginning.
Yeah. I think having success in this business really requires that whichever way you lean, you have to find the blend
Yes,
of if you are this way, then you need to reach out. And if you are, you need to sit in your closet
yes.
alone for a while. So
There's
yeah.
people all over the map in this industry for sure. You sit in the casting offices with them sometimes, and you got some people that won't stop talking, and then you got some people that are just shaking like this, looking at you. Hilarious,
If you could do voiceover from anywhere, where would it be?
Um, I'm a kind of a homebody. I take pride in what I've built around me, and I enjoying it. So I'm very comfortable. I've built out my own studio to my liking, and it fits well for me. And you know, I'm I don't know. I don't really want for too much, beyond what
Hmm.
I already have. I'm very comfortable in what I've done. It's not to say that I'm not aspirational and I want to achieve more, but like as far as
Right.
location,
Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. What would you say your voiceover motto is?
Um, I don't know how to put it into words. I think um, it, in the very beginning, I got very discouraged. So like things weren't happening fast enough for me. I'm very much like I want to make stuff happen. And I got discouraged, and it's always on. You're relying on somebody else's time, not your own, and you have to wait for them. Um, and sometimes a lot of us too are like looking for approval, and we want that satisfaction of thinking that we're good enough, and um, but you are good enough. Like you have something to offer. If you're taking the time, you're spending the money, and you're working with people like you, and then you're worth something. So just know your worth, know your value, and know that like
Mm,
will happen and when it's supposed to happen. And the more energy and effort you put into it, the more you'll receive out of it. You know
hmm
how to put that into words, but that's kind of like what I
What? Yeah, those know your worth and do the work.
yeah
Yeah,
yeah putting
yeah,
in the work is huge. Yeah.
yeah. That's powerful, and it's that simple and also that intense to actually live and do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Right? Oh, it's that easy. Okay, yeah, yeah. What is your daily view of practice? I know being in the promo world, there's a certain cadence that people talk about the golden handcuffs of the promo world, but what is a typical day for you like?
I'm fortunate enough to have work every day, which is great. So I usually wake up. I'll have, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 auditions waiting for me that I have to knock out really fast. So I'll go in and go through those and work my morning through that. And then typically by like late morning, I'll have some promo stuff that comes in from some ABC affiliates. Um, Usually stuff from TBS will kind of filter in right around then as well. And then I have a couple commercials to knock out. So I don't know, maybe from like 9 o'clock till about 1:30 ish or so. I'm in here just kind of hammering away. And then I get to go pick up my daughter from school, come back, and then by then some other stuff has kind of piled in to kind of knock out the rest of the day. It's somewhat like ASAP auditions or maybe a job will pop in. So,
Mm,
and then yeah, the golden handcuffs are it's true. You get paid well for doing like promo work, but they want you to be available within 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes a meeting,
mhm,
and I have to block out time on my schedule to like take care of picking up my daughter and stuff from school, and they know that, so they work.
mhm.
They know that like any time between these blocks, like I'm available, so they'll just be like, my agent will hit me up on a text and say, hey, you available right now? I go, okay, I gotta go. Just get jump in the booth.
Yeah, yeah. It's on a daily. You're like the EMT of you,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Voice
fun.
of emergency on call.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. It's not going to last forever. I know that. Like, I don't take it
Right.
for granted, and I just work as hard as I can now. So that it'll carry me through.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, I think that's one of the rules of the dojo that we lay down as part of the foundation for building to an ideal career. Where you have built to um, as cultivate beginner's mind, humility, curiosity, and determination. But there's this really beautiful sense of humility of like, I appreciate this is what it is. It's happened in this way. And I also humbly acknowledge that that all things have cycles, etc. So it's powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Knowing what you know now, what would you say to yourself at the beginning of your career?
Well, I talked a moment ago about being discouraged.
Mhm.
And don't be too hard on myself because
Mm,
it takes time. It's a numbers game. A lot of it's a numbers game. You got to have the talent, obviously. You got to invest in yourself and all. Considering that you've done all those things, that you've got decent equipment, you've worked with good people, you've got the talent, you've got the determination to get through it. Don't get discouraged. Like I got really discouraged in the beginning, and it
mhm,
took time to kind of break through. And I kind of felt like, well, am I only going to be here? Like this is as good as it's going to get. I kind of felt like maybe I hit a ceiling, and no, I just keep going. Like I just know there's people that I've tried to help before that kind of like just they put in the work and then they hit a threshold where they think that they've done all they can do and then they just stop. It's like you were all if you just would have stayed with it, you would have been there.
Yeah, yeah. That cartoon of the one more pickaxe
Yeah,
strike full,
exactly.
there's the diamond, right?
That's a good analogy.
Yeah,
But yeah, you're right. It's like yeah, you're the crack was just about at that diamond ready to explode. Yeah,
right.
just don't get discouraged. I literally went from working a 9 to 5 job to making working for somebody on a I think I was making 75,000 a year, 80,000 a year, which is a livable wage ish, not in California,
Mhm.
but to doing a mid 6 figure income. It's you can definitely do it. I didn't have any formal acting experience prior to this. Like I
Yeah.
put myself in the with the right people. Working with coaches and producers and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, don't get discouraged.
Yeah. Well, this has been fantastic. I
Yeah,
love doing these things because we find out, talk about that heartbeat, the heartbeat of this. These are the truths that are just the heartbeat of a beginning career, a heartbeat of a hugely successful career. It's this is the heartbeat that keeps things going. So I'm so looking forward to having you and Ask the Sensei and having everyone be able to ask even more questions and share your insights, and we'll answer some questions
yeah.
together.
I'm
But
excited
thanks so much
to.
for taking this time, Mike. And we'll see you on Ask the Sensei. And thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll see you guys soon.